Hello friends, welcome back to Ouroboros Tarot. So today we are going to be looking into what their intentions are. I put a poll out in the community section and this is what you guys voted for. So thank you for your advice and your insight, and I'm really excited to do this reading for you. So I have 3 piles for you to choose from. I wanted to do 4, but my voice is just giving out. I'm not up to talking as much as I have been in the past, just because I keep getting tickles in my throat. And anyway, we don't need to talk about that. So I have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and that's it. So go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy as well as with your person's energy, and I will see you in a minute. Hello, pile 1. So today's reading is going to be what are their intentions? That was the vote that was taken in the poll in the community section, as what everyone, or at least a huge portion of people, would like to have a reading on today. And so that's what it's on. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it. So currently, the person you are inquiring about is showing up as the crow and the prostitute. The light attribute is accentuate the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. And the shadow attribute is places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. And girl, this is just going to become a I bet that was like the cutest little meow because it was right up against the microphone. Girl, honey bun, please. I just want a little bit of space. Lily is so needy. Come on. Come on. We're all waiting on ya. Okay, sit down please so I can keep going. Okay, so where was I? So this card here indicates where this connection is at currently, and we have the venom. Okay, so I would say that right about now, your person is kind of, I would say, working through being a part of this light attribute and the shadow attribute of the prostitute. I do feel like there could be how do I want to say it? I feel like there could be some habits of theirs that they're working through in terms of, like, perhaps having been single for a very long time and therefore not really knowing how to be loyal or knowing how to connect from an open heart space. But I think that it's something that they're working on. I think that they're showing up in both the light and the shadow attributes right now. And I say that most specifically, if the crow wasn't here, I would say that they are probably just showing up in their shadow attribute of this because of the venom here. But the crow is representative of magic, but also of practicality, of problem solving. And crows are very intelligent creatures. And I'm sensing that this person is kind of currently going through an awakening of some kind, that they may or may not have been, they may not be communicating with this about, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? They may not be communicating about this with you, this like understanding that they're coming to, but there's like an energetic shift going on that I'm feeling, in which they're recognizing that how they maybe have been showing up benefiting them or this connection. And I say that most specifically because currently the position that this connection is in the venom. I feel like this connection has gone through some difficult times, some pains, some hurts that perhaps one or both of you have inflicted on one another. However, the venom talks about healing. Like, it's inevitable that the pain is there from the venom. However, the venom also brings about profound healing. And so I'm sensing that right now this person is really working it out, at least within their own selves, on how to fix this, if that makes sense. And then in terms of, so these cards here are representative of how they intend on showing up in the future. So how they intend on showing up in the future is the golden egg and the prince. The light attribute of the prince is romantic charm and potential for power, and the shadow attribute is using power for self-aggrandizement. Jeez. I butchered that. So I would say that the shift that I was mentioning here, this like realization that they're coming to, or this understanding that they're coming to, I honestly am not even sure if they're like they're all that aware of what's happening. It's just like something that I think is naturally occurring within them. And with the venom here, it could be that their higher selves, or, you know, even their subconscious is recognizing that this is painful for them as well as for you in some way, shape, or form. And they don't want that. They don't want, and it's not an I don't want this and therefore I'm going to run away from it. It's an I don't want this connection in the sense of how it's been in the past. I want this to be something that's a joyful experience for the both of us. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling care. And with the golden egg here, as how they're intending on showing up in the future, the golden egg, the key word in the guidebook for the golden egg is message at the center of the heart. It's symbolic of being open to your vulnerability and your tenderness, and allowing things to allowing yourself to act on your heart, but doing so in a patient way. It's not rushed. It's very beautiful. And out of all of the cards in this deck, this particular deck, we have fire cards, earth cards, water cards, and air cards. And then we have spirit cards. So this is something that they're intending on showing up in, you know, in as a version of their highest self. And because the golden egg is here, I'm viewing this prince just in its light attributes of romantic charm and potential for power. I really do feel like this is a positive spread. And I feel like some really, really beautiful changes are coming this person's way that have already begun. Yeah. I think that, you know, another thing, you know, with the keyword being messages from the heart, I think really, I feel like with this prostitute here, this person has been emotionally unavailable, and they're kind of coming into an available place. But we're going to go ahead and pull tarot, and we're going to ask the cards, where do they intend on this connection heading? Because we know how they intend on showing up. It seems pretty clear in a very loving way. Okay. Where do they intend on this connection heading? Okay, we have the Devil, the Chariot, the Two of Swords, the Hermit, the Hierophant. My gosh, lots of major arcana. Where do they intend on this connection heading? Where do they intend on taking this connection? Okay. We have the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. And then on the back of the deck, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. And I'm also going to get some more oracles really quickly. Where do they intend on taking this connection? Okay, we have Pain. This came out, so I'm going to take it. Trust. I'll put it right here. Growth. And movement. Okay. So, I think what's really interesting is that the Devil came out right underneath the Prostitute, but then what's clarifying the Devil is the Hierophant. And I honestly would have never thought about this until I got that deck. I think it's the Prism Oracle deck, which I really like because it's one of those decks that gives you lots of different, it gives you a key word. Rather than imagery, there's just a key word on it. And the key word in that specific deck for the Hierophant is unlearn. And the Hierophant really is, you know, a lot of the times you hear about the Hierophant being higher learning or like spiritual learning, but really all that is unlearning. And for that to be clarifying the Devil, it seems like this person is intending on taking this connection beyond just a physical one. Like perhaps this prostitute energy has to do with it being like a friends with benefits type of situation, or a situation where it's like kind of non-committal but also codependent. Like honestly, like it kind of feels like this person views commitment as if it's something that would be binding or like gives you chains. However, what really is binding and giving you chains, or giving this person chains, is codependency, or this inability to see past kind of like the physical, just the physical pleasures of life. And it's something that they're intending on unlearning. I'm sorry about that. My throat still gets a tickle from when I was sick. I'm gonna get some water. Hold on. Okay. And then we have, with the Hierophant as well, it can, my gosh, my throat, oh my goodness. It feels like it's closing up. Ooh. Maybe it's this person doesn't want their secrets spilled. Oh my goodness. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, but the Hierophant can also signify commitment. However, I don't necessarily know if that's kind of like their genuine intention. Rather so, I feel like there's an intention to explore it rather than be fearful of it. I feel like I'm gonna have to pause this video. It came out of nowhere. I'll be right back. Okay, So, I was talking about... Okay, so we just finished these cards. I want to talk about this Chariot and the Ten of Wands. It honestly feels like this person... So the Ten of Wands is kind of representative to me. The Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands, but especially the Ten of Wands, is kind of representing the venom, but more so the emotional burden of the pain that either this person has caused you in the past, or the pain of just two people not communicating in the way in which they can both feel seen and heard. There's something here that needs to be released, and they're intending on not running away from that. Like I was saying with how the crow is a problem solver, it feels like rather than, thinking, oh my gosh, this is too much, they're intending on acknowledging like, oh, this is really heavy, and I want to work through this. And I see it here too with the Two of Swords and the Nine of Wands. This is indicative to me of somebody who is not willing to give up. They're intending on sticking through this. And if that means not making a decision or making a fast movement suddenly because they want to make the right one, they're going to hold off. And with the Hermit here, the Hermit, I think, is really indicative of their own self-growth, their own realizations that they're having currently on a spiritual level that's leading them to expand on their horizons, to think outside of the box, to think in ways in which they haven't done before. There's a lot here indicating that there's perspective shifts. The Hermit is a card of insight. The Page of Wands is about changing, your thought process. I can't see right now because Lily is here. I think the Hierophant is also a card of unlearning or learning new things. And with this Nine of Pentacles here, what this is really indicating to me is that their intentions are, it kind of feels like what their intentions are is to show up as a better partner or as a better friend, as a better person who is being more authentic to themselves and more authentic to their heart space. However, I don't really see any intentions here to merge this in some kind of commitment. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I think that really why I'm not seeing anything here that's representative of commitment is because their intentions right now are to just explore the idea that commitment isn't something in which you lose your identity. And they're holding on to that fiercely. Girl, I need you to move. I can't see. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I see it here too. I think that there's, whenever there's a fear of anything, whether or not it's a fear of enmeshment or a fear of commitment, whatever it is, in all reality, fear is triggered by the belief that something is going to harm you. And we have it here with pain. I think that this is another card indicating that this person intends on having their heart space open, allowing themselves to have the potential to feel pain. However, with trust coming out right underneath it, I feel like this is really, really indicative of somebody who intends on acknowledging that by being vulnerable, there is the possibility of pain. However, trusting that it's going to be worth it. And we have growth and movement. These are two forward forward progressing cards. This isn't energy that's stagnant. This isn't somebody who is intending on moving this direction in a sense of it's just not going to move at all. This person has the intention of moving this forward. However, there's a lot that this person is working on, I would say. And it's all with good intentions. But let's go ahead now and get into channeled messages. What does this person want to say to pile 1? Okay. You were the best thing in my life, or you are the best thing in my life. So many things remind me of you. So if this is like a no contact situation, or if this is just something that's really on the rocks with this venom, I would take those as, as literal. However, I also think that this is just indicative of even when we're apart, even when we don't spend time together for a couple of days, you're still on my mind. I see things that remind me of you everywhere I go. Okay, and then we have, I wish I could take my words back, and I wish things could be different. And I think these words have to do with the venom, and then I wish things could be different. I think what this is saying is I want things to be different, and therefore it's happening regardless of whether or not I'm aware of it or not. Things are unfolding behind the scenes. But yeah, let's get you one piece of advice before we end this. What advice is there for pile 1? Okay. Perfect match. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. You've gotten your and everyone else's wish. This is an auspicious sign that a healthy, authentic relationship is either here or on its way. This is the sort of relationship where you don't have to compromise, settle, sell out, or otherwise be a non-you. This is a relationship anchored in truth and love that neither party will have to hide their farts from. Smells like a special duo. Oh my gosh, pile 1. Okay, well that's where I'm going to leave you for today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you go to the community section of my channel, I guess, you'll see coupon codes and stuff like that. My birthday is coming up. I'm a Scorpio and I'm turning 31, and on top of that, within days of each other, I'm also graduating from graduate school, so I have a lot to celebrate. So if you want to celebrate with me, please feel free to donate to my channel, or you can use one of my coupon codes to get 31% off a personal reading right now on Etsy. But yeah, thank you so much, pile 1, for watching, and I hope that I will have the chance to read for you again soon. Bye! Hello, pile 2. So today's reading is asking what your person's intentions are. So how we're going to do this is, let's just do this. These cards are going to represent the current situation, and these are going to represent the intentions of how they intend on showing up in the future. So currently, pile 2, your person is showing up as the UFO and the Queen. And this connection is currently in the energy of the thread. Okay. So I would say that right now, your person is showing up in a way in which it feels profound and like it has deep meaning. Like this connection feels profound, and there's a higher purpose to it. and this person is showing up in a way that perhaps kind of agrees with that. Like perhaps they are talking about how this feels like a really intense and purposeful connection, or they're showing up in kind of an elusive way, however, with like an intensity to them. And I think that they're showing up in these light attributes of the Queen right now. I think they really are in this divinely feminine energy. So I wouldn't be surprised if currently you are more in the state of like the masculine energy of pursuing this connection in some way, or taking on more action toward this connection. And it could even be you viewing this person so strongly as someone who is really important, and that's why the UFO has shown up. But this is further amplified when it comes to how this situation is currently, or what this connection is currently in. The thread is the thing that connects us to everything, and we're always connected to the thread. And when we're aware that we're connected to it, when we're aware that we are connected to everyone, everything in this life, we realize we're free, and the thread really is just an anchor for our hearts. It's not something that binds us. And so I think that right now, currently, this connection is undergoing a shift of awareness of how important it is. And I think it's showing up in this position of where this connection is currently, because both parties involved are aware of the importance or the value of this connection. And then in terms of how your person intends on showing up for you and for this connection in the future, their intentions is to show up as the femme fatale, so more feminine energy, and the mouse. So I think this is really interesting, because over here we have somebody who kind of seems like an enigma, kind of seems like they just kind of like have it all together, and they're really regal and perhaps spiritually evolved. But I think that what their intentions are is to kind of like let down a little bit of their walls, because how they're showing up currently, I don't think it's inauthentic. I think it's just without the vulnerability that I think they would like to show up in. And in all honesty, like, I don't know necessarily if they will even show you how vulnerable they actually feel, but I am sensing a lot of vulnerability here, especially because with this mouse, the mouse is a very detail-oriented, nitpicky type of animal that really stays busy and like thinks a lot and is very nervous. And then for the femme fatale to be here, I think that this person intends on showing up in both the light and the shadow attributes. I think that they want to show up in the light attributes in the sense of they want to open up their heart space, and remain in their feminine energy. However, the shadow attributes, I wouldn't take it literally. So literally, these shadow attributes on this card say inappropriate use of sensuality and attachment to money and power. The energy that I'm getting from this shadow attribute is really more reflective of the mouse, in the sense that I think this person is intending on showing up in a way in which I think they might be fearful, that they might lose this connection. There's a slight need for control, and it doesn't seem like control in the sense of somebody who is deeply manipulative and like a walking red flag. It's more like they want like a perception within themselves of they have it together and there is this control within themselves, so that they feel safe. But let's go ahead and get into, and I think that the reason why this is happening, of how they're intending on showing up, is because, like I said, there's like an awakening happening, I think, on both of your ends to the intensity or the truth of this connection. So now I'm going to ask the tarot where this person intends this connection to head. So where is pile 2's person intending on leading this connection? Okay. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, the Four of Pentacles. Okay. The Ace, the King of Wands, the Hermit reversed, the Four of Wands, the Star, Ace of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Wands upright. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. Very interesting. Why, I don't know why I just pulled another one, but I did. So this one's coming out too. Okay. Page of Swords. That's so interesting. My mind just like blanked for a second. Okay, and then I'm also going to go ahead and get some more oracles. Where do they intend for this connection to go? We have caution. We have stop. Oh my gosh, this person is I could feel it with the mouse and the femme fatale. This person is, I think, intending on trying to protect themselves from the potential pain that they're realizing they might feel. I'm going to keep going. Where do they intend on this connection to go? We have peace. And rejection. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Let's get on into it. So I'm going to start with this King of Cups and the Page of Swords being the bottom of the deck energy. I think it's really interesting that I pulled this. That was where I just blanked the fuck out for a second and pulled another one for no reason. But it's here. So obviously it needed to come out. And what this is telling me is that how they're intending on showing up is as somebody who wants desperately to be in their heart space and has an intense level of curiosity of this desire. They're feeling very curious about this strong desire they have to open up their heart for you. And they intend on exploring that. However, I think what this Queen in the UFO is indicating is that currently they're not being very open or forthright about the level of nervousness that they're feeling. Like I said, it's a very elusive type of energy that they're showing up in, or like mysterious. And they intend on showing you kind of the word that just came to my mind, and I don't mean this in a mean way at all. Like there was no judgment in what it just came to my head. But the intention they have is to show you the hot mess that they truly are. And and I say that in not a mean way at all. Like I think that's them saying it. And I think a better way of saying it, rather than the hot mess that they are, would to just say they intend on showing you their humanity, their humanness, the parts of themselves that make them really, really scared. I mean, the Queen of Swords is a logical feminine energy, which I think goes hand in hand with this femme fatale and the mouse, who is really in their headspace and overthinking things and keeping busy for the sake of keeping busy. And so I think that they're planning on sharing with you the level of like mental labor that they are having to act on or engage upon in order to feel safe, I guess. Like I feel like there's some anxiety here, and they want to communicate that. They're intending on like showing you the truth, telling you the truth. And the truth is that they feel at home with you, and they want to continue this. However, like there's like this like war within themselves of, I mean, we have caution, stop, and rejection. Like it's like this person is like much more confused than what they're letting on, or like much more emotional, or much more of a walking contradiction than they're letting on. Like they're not as cool as they're trying to portray themselves as. You know, and then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is representative of somebody who is highly reserved, which, I mean, I see it with stop, caution, rejection. It's like this person is like, they really want a connection, but they're freaking themselves out. And so then they clam up or clamp up. I don't know. And then they feel like it's just like a dream, or like something that they can only long for. How interesting. I feel like this connection kind of triggers them in a way in which I don't know if they've necessarily ever felt before, but they feel like you have all of the power, or like they've given their power away. There's this element with this King of Wands and the Ace of Cups reversed, as though they don't have any control over where this connection heads or how they're feeling. It's like you kind of dictate that in a sense. And I think like for this to show up, they intend on continuing this. Like they're really in like a state of like feminine energy that's like perhaps a little bit out of balance. Like they're taking on like a really passive approach. It's confusing. It's very confusing. But then we have the Hermit reverse. They have no intention of like actually ending this, because that's not what they want. They're just so freaked out. They I would say they like you a lot. It's like these cards are like, okay, go. Wait, no, stop. No, definitely stop. Go, go, go. Stop, go, stop. I'm going to pull some of these because I'm confused. I think they're confused. That's the problem. This person is very confused, not about how they're feeling about you, but about how to allow themselves to genuinely just flow, to genuinely just let themselves be vulnerable to you. They want to be. And they're intending on showing you just how freaked out they are. That's the biggest message. Okay. What do you want to say to pile 2? I hid who I really am from you. Yes, you certainly did, Miss Queen / UFO. Okay. What do you want to say? There was no judgment in that. That was just I love it when like a card comes out and it's like, yes, this confirms everything I was saying. Good Lord. Okay. Okay, that's way too many. Okay. Half the deck came flying out. What do you want to say to pile 2? I bury myself in work to forget you. I regret lying to you. Interesting. Oh my, there's just hair everywhere. Oh gosh. Okay. And then finally one more. Oh, okay. So many things remind me of you. So I would definitely take these how they resonate for you. There's like a gazillion ways to interpret these, and however it's sitting with you is probably the right interpretation. Finally, pile 2, let's get you some advice. Curiosity. Oh no, my throat is starting to swell up. I don't talk that much since I've been recovering from my cold, and when I start talking a lot, my throat starts to get ticklish. Ugh. Hold on. Meeting new people. I remember what a treasure trove of opinions, interests, and stories they are. But these treasures will only be unlocked if I embrace my curiosity. So I'll be curious and you be interesting. Deal? Okay, pile 2. Oh my gosh, excuse me. This is where I'm going to leave you for today. If this resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comment section down below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, I have a coupon going on right now for my birthday. The coupon is Scorpio for 31% off a private reading with me. So please feel free to scroll through my Etsy shop. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry about the coughing fit at the end. I hope that I will have the chance to see you in another video soon. Bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. So today's reading is asking the question, what are their intentions? So we're going to be looking at where they are at currently, or how they are showing up currently, where this connection is at currently, how they intend on showing up for you and this connection in the future. And then we'll go ahead and pull tarot, asking where they intend this connection to go. So currently, pile 3, your person is showing up as the river otter and the trickster. And your connection is currently in the state of the healer. So I would say that right now, your person is showing up in a way in which, I mean, part of it could be like a good vibes only type of attitude, like just wanting to focus on the good, or just wanting to focus on the things that feel good. And perhaps like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think for this trickster to show up, it's saying that they might be deceiving themselves, if that makes sense. Like, I understand the idea of like wanting to have good vibes only, but that's not how anything works. And to not allow yourself to process and accept things without judgment, rather than labeling things as good vibes and bad vibes, can really affect you. And I think that that might be kind of what's happening right now. It feels like they're like pushing under, like sweeping some things under the rug that they don't want to deal with. Or I wouldn't say they're really in the shadow attribute of like manipulating others that this trickster shows up in. But I would say the light attribute is transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. And I think that that's a wonderful light attribute to have, but of course I'm also somebody who really feels as though moderation in anything is key. And I think that it's important to question those types of things. Just like I would ask you to question what you're seeing in I can hear my neighbor and he's making some really weird noises. I'm sorry, I got so distracted. All I'm saying is that I think that there's not a whole lot of like moderation happening here for this person currently. And with the healer here, I would say that where this connection is at currently is it almost feels like it's in a place in which it goes round and round in circles, and it might feel kind of like nothing is actually happening, or like you guys aren't meeting. There's two scenarios. So that's one of the scenarios I'm feeling, is that like this connection currently is just kind of going in circles. However, regardless of whether or not that's happening, healing is occurring because of it. So that's one. The other one is that this connection currently is challenging this person to start looking at their shadow selves, or looking at the things that perhaps they're fearful to see within themselves, and therefore they're refusing to look. But their intentions, how they intend on showing up in this connection, is the Tiger and Midas. Okay. So what this is indicating to me is that your person is intending on kind of coming into balance. The Tiger is a feminine energy for one, but it's also an animal that is very comfortable in the dark, and can navigate through it. And then with Midas here, the light attributes, one of the sentences is delight in sharing life's riches. And I think that this person is intending on coming into balance with themselves for the sake of this connection. Okay. Let's see where they intend for this connection to go. What direction do they intend this connection to go in? The Sun, the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. Okay. The Four of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Three of Wands. This is beautiful. Where does your person intend on leading this connection? So for one, with the Sun here, the Sun is all about inner child's healing. It's also about like warmth and love and just joy overall. It's just a beautiful card. And then right underneath it, we have the Four of Swords, which is a card about rest and rejuvenation and meditation and healing. And I'm sensing like a restart. This person is intending on this connection being rejuvenated and being healed. And I sense that it's already heading in that direction already with the healer here. Girl, can you please move? Come on. Let's go. Come on, please. Come on. And then with the Eight of Wands here, I'm sensing, well, the Eight of Wands, first off, is like movement and taking action. And then the Ace of Cups is, you know, emotional overflow and just overall joy and love and just good feelings and expressing oneself. And I'm sensing that they intend on having a conversation with you, for one, about what it is that what it is that's been going on in their heart, that I think they've been kind of keeping to themselves. And we have the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is another card about communication, about clarification. And it's coming in quick. It's like emerging. So we have the Eight of Wands and the wands are coming this way. And then we have the Knight of Wands coming this way. It's like a merging of the head space and the heart space. And with the Ten of Swords here and the King of Wands, what I'm getting from this, the message that I'm getting from this is kind of like a death of the ego in a sense, or a death of like an overactive masculine energy. The Tiger is a very feminine card. It represents the divine feminine, and I'm sensing like a kind of like a cycle coming to an end of. So sometimes with this King of Wands, it represents like a manifester, somebody who's manifesting things. And I think that sometimes when it comes to manifesting things, people can get really confused about this idea of not wanting to feel their feelings because they think that their feelings are going to block what it is that they want. And your feelings are there regardless of whether or not you allow them to be released, and they need to be released. And I'm kind of sensing with that whole good vibes only thing that I was picking up over here, like this person is killing off that aspect of themselves that is forcing themselves to only chase after things that feel good and run away from things that feel bad. And with the Three of Wands here, I'm sensing like one of their intentions is to start trusting their choices, to start trusting this connection. And not to say that there wasn't trust here since the very beginning. There's nothing here that's indicated that. I guess with the Trickster a little bit, but it's more like a lack of trust in themselves or of deceiving themselves. And the Three of Wands is also a card of expansion. They intend on expanding this connection in a way that they couldn't in the past or can't right now because they're limiting themselves. Okay, yes. They're intending on, I don't necessarily know if like just their everyday self is just like, I intend on being sad. It feels more like their higher self is saying that some shifts are coming this person's way, and they're going to have to feel this sadness that they've been avoiding. And with isolation here, there might be, I don't think that that's like necessarily like, because there's nothing here indicating isolation in the sense of like they're ending this connection to work on themselves. The intention behind the isolation is the same as this Four of Swords, of rest. I'm gonna go ahead and get some of these. What do you want to say to pile 3? I know I was a distraction from your pain. Interesting. I personally, just based on what little I know from what I've seen, I would say that this is, I know you were a distraction from my pain. I hope that you can forgive me one day. And obviously take these how these resonate for you. So many things remind me of you, and I love you. Okay, and finally, pile 3, I'm going to get you an advice card. Depth. As new people show up in my life, I look for all the weird, wonderful, complex layers below their surface. I can't be surprised by someone's depth of character unless I'm willing to peel back the outer layers and go a little deeper. It's like the brand new saying goes, don't judge an onion by its haircut. All right, pile 3, well, this is what I'm seeing for you. If this resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comment section down below. If you haven't seen, in the community portion of my channel, I have a sale going on in my shop to celebrate graduating and also my birthday. I'm turning 31 in a couple of days. If you'd like to celebrate with me, feel free to donate to the channel so we can keep getting beautiful decks to use. And the coupon code for 31% off, since I'm turning 31, all readings in my shop is Scorpio. So, pile 3, thank you so much for letting me read for you today, and I hope that I will have the chance to read for you again soon. Bye!